Welcome to Agenda Edina, a news program summarizing the actions taken at City Hall that affect you most. I'm your host, Dorothea Marty. The first parking ramp at 50th and France was built more than 40 years ago. This summer, that ramp and the two others will undergo a much-needed renewal. Earlier this month, the Edina City Council approved plans to make nearly $6 million in improvements to the three existing parking structures available to 50th and France visitors. The project includes adding an elevator to the south ramp, designating ramps as full when they've reached capacity, increasing brightness and energy conservation through the use of LED bulbs, and adding crosswalks and additional signage. These upgrades are expected to better manage the flow of traffic and generally improve the parking experience, which will match the superior retail shopping experience visitors have come to expect from the area.
Businesses in Edina operate in a highly competitive environment. So with the lack of maintenance and lack of updates to the parking ramps, we've really created a competitive disadvantage. So with this infusion of remodeling, updates, improvements, we should put 50th and France back on par with our competitors in the immediate area. So it'll be benefits noticeable to the businesses, most importantly noticeable to the customers and residents.
The initial capital investment will be paid by the City of Edina, with subsequent and long-term maintenance to be managed and paid for by area business owners. The project is expected to span 2 years and will be tackled in 2 phases in order to lessen the impact on businesses and shoppers. Initial work will begin in June and conclude in October. The second phase is expected to begin in March 2015, with the projected completion date slated as October 2015. Phase 2 will include construction of the elevator in the south ramp and exterior ramp painting. During construction, parking will be available to visitors on a more limited basis. The Edina Police Department has lost its second canine. K9 Kodiak served the Edina Police Department for 8 years, retiring in 2010. Kodiak died on March 7th at age 14. Born in the Czech Republic on April 3, 2000, he was imported to America, where he and Officer Kevin Rafadal attended the St. Paul Police Canine School. The police department's canine program had been dormant since the early 1970s, when the city's first canine unit took a job with Minneapolis. With the help of an anonymous donor, Rafadal and Kodiak breathed new life into the local program.
I would say it's probably measured by, one, the kind of work he did, but secondly, when we went to retire him, and we just put out a little announcement and said, hey, there's going to be a little retirement, and people from all over the community came. And so I think they'll do that for other dogs too as they go to retire, because it's probably the one thing in my time here that really makes Edina feel like a small town.
Kodiak's legacy continues. The K9 unit includes Officer Mike Seeger and Diesel and Officer Jason Bear and Blade. Like Kodiak, both German Shepherd dogs were imported from Europe to join their handlers. Around 20 artists from the Twin Cities Metro showcased their work at the 2014 Edina Art Crawl in early March. The event brought local artists together with businesses at 50th and France. Edina 16's Dietrich Nissen stopped by the event and has our story.
Well, it's scary and I like it. It's kind of like jumping off a bridge.
That's how local artist Rick Kochenash felt when he was asked to paint live during the Edina Art Crawl.
You never know what's going to happen when you're painting live in front of people, and I like the challenge, I really do. I think and plus I think it's a neat thing for people to see. It's something I would like.
Kochenash isn't new to art crawls. He's painted for 30 years, many of them spent teaching at the Edina Art Center.
Every time I run a class, I paint with my students, and I think that's good because I think you learn a lot by watching, and I think it's better than any verbal cues you can give anyone, is just watching them paint.
It's wonderful for artists to display their work and have the advantage of being discovered.
Former Edina Public Art Chair Lois Ring says the crawl offers both students and professionals a venue to share, buy, and sell art.
A lot of times artists don't have a place to display their work, so here's a great opportunity.
It's not a high stress kind of situation for a young or emerging artist. I think it's a really good chance to get used to putting your art out there without having to necessarily have a full-blown show and exhibit and that much work prepared to share with people.
Although University of Minnesota art student Allison Ruby discovered her passion for painting later in life, she says art can be an outlet to heal.
I used to be a teacher, and I actually had to stop teaching because of some medical issues and got into art as a way to work through those.
But no matter what their reason is for producing art, this art crawl is a place to inspire not only the public, but also the artists themselves.
And I think it's good to get out there in the public, because if you want to succeed in art, you've got to sell. And you got to get known, and you got to have a recognition, and when there's a tableau, when there's a chance to be out there in front of the public, take it,
At 50th and France in Edina, Dietrich Nissen, Edina 16.
Many of the artists at the event are associated with the Edina Art Center. This was the second Edina Art Crawl, and organizers say they'd like to see a third. Donations made to Macy's Heart Your Park program at Southdale this month will benefit Yorktown Park. Yorktown Park on York Avenue will be a beneficiary of the program, which was introduced as part of the department store's Secret Garden campaign. The Secret Garden campaign aims to raise awareness and dollars for local parks across the country. Macy's partners with the National Recreation and Park Association to raise funds for local parks nationwide, with every dollar matched by Macy's up to $250,000. Until March 31st, customers at Macy's Southdale can donate $1 or more at the register, with 100% of customer donations and matching dollars benefiting Yorktown Park, along with its community garden and skate park.
We're very thankful that Macy's chose the Edina Parks and Recreation Department, and more specifically the Yorktown Community Gardens, for some possible donations for this program. At the Yorktown Community Garden, we would like to add some more raised plant beds for our gardeners. We would like to add some shade structures and some more seating areas to make it more comfortable for gardeners to take a break during their gardening.
Yorktown Park is one of more than 550 parks nationwide that will benefit from Macy's Heart Your Park this spring. For more information on Secret Garden, visit macys.com/Secret Garden. Thanks for watching this episode of Agenda Edina. I'm your host, Dorothea Marty.